I've always been a huge fan of 360 cameras and the market has been dominated by Insta360, but now DJI have released the Osmo 360. Which one of these two cameras should you get? Well, by the end of this video, you'll have your answer. So I have used 360 cameras now for years. Every trip I go on, every family vacation, I take a 360 camera. They get better every year, allowing you to literally just hit record and then you can choose all that framing afterwards. No hiding behind the camera when you're on vacation, no stress, no overthinking, simply you just hit record, super easy, and that's why I love these 360 cameras. But you only really need one 360 camera. You're not going to need two 360 cameras from two competing brands, so which one should you get? Well, I'm going to break this down now into key areas and my experience about using both of these. Now, spec-wise, both of these cameras are fantastic. Insta360 is now in its 5th version of 360 cameras, and DJI, this is its first ever 360 camera. And on paper, the Osmo 360, this is better. But in this video, it's about the overall experience, what it's like. It's not just about spec on paper, it's about that user experience. And I'm going to get right into it with the main point at how you actually separate these two cameras. And this alone could be a decision about which one to get straight away without seeing any of the other points. And it's to do with how these 360 cameras work. So the beauty of these is that you have two lenses, one on the front and one on the back, and they're going to now simultaneously record 360 degrees of your location. You hit record and then you can choose afterwards that framing. Absolutely brilliant. But because of that, the lenses on here are super important. If you get any scratches or cracks at all on them lenses, then you're going to see that on all of your footage. And most of the time, if you do see it, that footage is ruined. You can't do anything about it. But now on the X5, you can replace these lenses yourself. So you get a kit, you simply just screw this lens off, you put a new lens on, and you're ready to start shooting again. Unfortunately, on the Osmo 360, you cannot replace these lenses yourself. There is no replacement lens kit, which means if you get a crack or a scratch on here, you're going to have to then send that back off to DJI. And the downside to that is one, you're also then without this camera, but two, even if you have the DJI Care Refresh, you're going to have to pay every single time you want this lens to be repaired. And that is just such a big difference. These cameras here, most of the time, I just mount them on the side of a truck, side of a car. I might have them on the side of like a boat or whatever object I'm on. I could be holding outside of a vehicle on a selfie stick. You know, I'm not super careful with these. These are action cameras after all. So it means that with this, you can be a lot more risky because this camera is more durable. Whereas this, I'm just thinking, I've got to be so careful with this because if I get a crack or a scratch on this, I've got to then send it off. And that, massive win to the X5. Now, all the current issues that's going on with DJI and the USA, it means that the Osmo 360, this is not available at the time of recording this in the USA. So if you're after a 360 camera for summer or if you're going on a trip, then you can't actually get hold of this, which means you're going to have to then do these road trips to Canada or Mexico, or simply just wait for this to become available. I have been told by DJI that this is being worked on and it should be available soon, but right now it's not. You can get the X5 on like loads of different retailers. It's available online on the Insta360 website, on Amazon. So picking up one of these is super easy. So if you want the Osmo 360, this is available everywhere, just not in the USA. Whereas the X5, it's available internationally. Now, both of these cameras are intended to be used in action sports. They are action cameras, but because they are super small and they film in 8K, then these cameras will get warm and overheating has occurred on both of these. Now, the X5, I've had this since around about March 2025 and testing this and using it in a lot of different locations, some hot locations, some cold. This is overheated on me, I would say about 3 times. Now, I don't generally just like hold it like this or have it static and hitting record. It's normally like moving, there's airflow on them, and that's what you need for these 360 cameras. But on the DJI Osmo 360, this is overheated a lot more. Now, this has been improved with firmware, and since this firmware has come out, it's not overheated nowhere near as much. But it is a consideration that if you are going to be going to like a hot country, like I was using this in America, it was over 100 Fahrenheit, like 40 odd degrees. It was really hot. And this overheated quite a few times, which left me with that like lack of confidence in using this. but I do think this is to do with the Osmo 360 having the advantage that this can record in 10-bit. So it's recording in 10-bit in normal and D-Log-M. I'm going to come on to that in a second, how that's a positive. But I would say the negative of that is that that draws more power, more processing power, which altogether draws more heat. Now you can't actually reduce that to say 8-bit video. So you're always in 10-bit. So this is going to get a lot warmer than the X5. So if overheating is important to you, like it is for me, especially when these cameras, I'm just going to hit record, I'm going to mount it to something, and I'm generally not looking at it a lot. That's the whole idea of these 360 cameras. I don't want these to overheat. So if I'm just picking one and I want more confidence in one of these cameras, it's going to be the X5. Now looking at video quality, the Osmo 360 has that better spec. It's got slightly larger sensors, and as mentioned, the Osmo 360 records in 10-bit, capturing much more information than 8-bit on the X5. You can also record in D-Log-M, a fantastic color profile that we have on the DJI drones. So for color grading, doing color correction, adding your own LUT onto here, it is so much better. On the X5, this records in 8-bit video only. There is no 10-bit. There is a log profile, but it's not like great. I will show you an example in a second. Most of the time I'm not using that. I just keep this literally in normal color profile. So spec wise, the DJI Osmo 360 certainly wins, but let's put a few side-by-side shots on the screen now in this location and just show you the difference between normal color profile on here in 8-bit against normal on the 360 in 10-bit, and then I'll show you that comparison between D-Log-M and the iLog on the X5 and see what you think. So could you see a noticeable difference there between these two cameras? Let me know in the comments down below, but I would say for video and camera quality, the Osmo 360 wins. Now both these cameras have exceptional battery life and they also have fast charging capabilities. Now while both brands make claims for high battery performance, in real life, in standing tests, both cameras perform almost identical, and I would say I get round about 90 minutes of 8K recording on both of these. This is using the Osmo 360, the standard batteries. Now the great thing about this is that if you do have like the Action 5, you can also use them because they are exactly the same batteries. And on the X5 they have just released a new Ultra battery. This is 2800 milliamp battery. So both have fantastic battery life, and for that reason I'm going to give this as a tie, a point each. And the editing experience is really important, and it's got so much better in the last few years. It used to take forever to edit 360 footage. Insta360, I've got their mobile app and also the studio app. And the Osmo 360, this has the DJI Mimo app, which you might be familiar with if you're using that, the DJI Action 5 Pro or Pocket 3. And they also have their own studio app, which is pretty much like identical to the studio app for the Insta360, like apart from like a few name changes. It's pretty much the same. But when we look at the mobile apps, I will say that the DJI Mimo app is much more limited than the ability that we have with the Insta360 app. This has been out for years now. It's had a lot of time to grow and add more features, but for auto editing or just getting inspiration from all of the different techniques and transitions that it will do automatically for you, or you can simply just make your own edit, let the software do it. Now, both of these do have an auto edit feature, but it's a lot easier and more simple to get faster results using the Insta360 mobile app. So for overall editing experience, point goes to the X5. Now this I really like what DJI are doing continuously with their action cameras and their drones as well, is including internal storage. So the Osmo 360 has 105 gigabytes of internal storage, which is a fairly decent amount for recording 8K footage. It means if you go out to a location, you forget your memory card, I've done that quite a few times, it means you've got enough for generally getting that shoot with the internal storage. It's definitely going to help you out. On the Insta360 X5, there is 0 internal storage. Insta360 don't really apply internal storage to their devices. And I would say this is a downside. It means you've always got to remember to have your SD card with you, or you just can't record anything. And that could be the difference of getting this shot or not. So for that reason, the DJI Osmo 360, point there. Now, Insta360 have launched a cool feature, which is their cloud service. So let's just say you go to a location and you do several shots in that area. You then go to like a coffee bar and you just sat down having a coffee. As soon as you connect your X5 to the Insta360 app, that will then load all of those clips to your cloud service. Let's just say later on that day you have an issue with your X5 or you lose your memory card. All of your footage is backed up to the cloud. I think this is a great feature that they've included for the X5. On here, at the moment, DJI don't have any cloud service. I'm sure they will add something like this, but just an added peace of mind, I think this is a great feature. Now, this is not a free service, but it is a really handy service if you're using your X5 a lot for that added peace of mind. I'm sure if you've got a phone, you might be using like iCloud or Google Photos, something like that. And by having it for your action camera now as well, it's great. Point there. Now, if you look at the price of these, they're going to come in a few different versions. The X5, I think it has maybe like 20 odd different versions you can get. But if you look at the main two, you're going to be able to get standard versions of these, which I'll put the prices on the screen now. This is going to basically just get you the camera, one battery, and that's it, standard one. Or you can get the combos, the Adventure combo, and you can also get the Essentials bundle from the X5. This is going to give you the selfie stick, so the invisible selfie stick, which you're not going to see. I would say that's like the key #1 accessory you're going to need. Extra batteries, charging case, things like that. So I would say get the combos if you're going to want to get the best experience out of these. And I will also put the prices on the screen there. So if price is a key factor for you, just looking at those prices on that screen, the DJI wins. Now, I would say accessories make these cameras. Sure, you could simply just hold it in front of you like this and get this 360 view, but it's going to be limited in terms of like what you can do. Accessories and the way you're going to mount these cameras is going to make a massive difference to the overall experience. And you can get really creative in the mounting abilities with these. So you could have it on your bike handlebars, have it at the side of a truck, you can get backpack mounts, you can even mount this on your pet. So you have various selfie sticks that you can use on these 360 cameras, and the great things about these is that when you mount your camera to these, that whole selfie stick becomes invisible, so you get this fantastic really wide angle view like somebody else is filming you. And that's what I love about using these. Now, because the Osmo 360 is a new product, there's only 13 official accessories that you can get for the Osmo 360. Insta360, they are absolutely insane with their accessories, always bringing out new accessories. So for just the X5 alone on their website, there is over 100 different official accessories, which is insane. You can really get creative with these cameras. Now, my favorite would be these really long selfie sticks. So Insta360 has a 3-meter version. So this can go out all the way to 3 meters and you can get this really long view. It is great. They also have the standard selfie stick as well. This is a lot smaller, it's lighter as well. This is great. But DJI, they also have a few, so they've got their own official selfie sticks, and they've also got a 2.5 meter selfie stick. So this is great, and I would say it's a bit more durable and better quality than the Insta360s. But if we look at it here, it's also bigger as well. So it's smaller, 50 centimeters smaller in overall height, but it's also heavier and bigger. And therefore, I would say accessory-wise, the Insta360 is the clear winner. So on paper, the X5 wins, but let's not forget, both of these are absolutely fantastic 360 cameras, the best you can get. And for DJI's first ever 360 camera, it certainly is good. I would say this has the better video quality. The D-Log M color profile, 10-bit, allows you to then use your own LUTs on here. I can color grade this. I'm getting better video quality results out of this, 100%. But it's not just about that video quality. You need that experience. And I'm just worried a lot about always having to have this case on it. But then when I'm using this, I'm being a lot more careful with this. So say I'm on a bike, for instance, I'm going down a trail, and there's a good chance that some twigs or stones could hit this lens. So I don't want to risk that, so I just won't use it. But I'll use this. I could mount this anywhere to that bike, and if it gets cracked or scratched, I literally just grab my replacement lens kit out of my bag, and I can change it within minutes. So it means if I'm going on a trip and space in my bag is limited, I'm just going to take the X5, even if it means I'm losing out on video quality. Now I'm going to link both of these cameras at the top of the description. I do have an ongoing offer for the X5, which gets you a replacement lens kit for free once you buy this with my link. It's only available on my link at the top of the description as well. I'm going to put it on the screen here, but you can also get an extra 5% off until the 1st of September. If you pick this camera up. So a fantastic offer there, all available through that link. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and got any value out of it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here because so much coming out. It's getting even better. It's crazy, crazy time of the year. Thank you so much for watching again. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.